Hello everyone and welcome back to my kitchen and to another delicious recipe. Today we're going to prepare a dish prepared with different types of meats, perfect for all you meat lovers out there. This recipe is very popular in the northern part of Mexico, but depending on what part of Mexico you're from, this recipe can be prepared in many different ways. And today I'm going to show you the way I prepare it. For this recipe, I'm going to use 1.5 pounds of chicken, beef, and pork. The chicken and the pork is already pre-marinated. You can find pre-marinated meat at any of your favorite Mexican grocery stores. If you find the meat that's already pre-marinated, more likely you will not have to add any additional seasonings. We're also going to use 1.5 pounds of chorizo or longaniza. Chorizo also has a lot of seasonings, which is going to add a lot of flavor to the dish. And 1 16-ounce package of bacon cut into small pieces like these. And for the last of the meats, 1 pound of chopped ham and 1 12-ounce package of your favorite hot dogs cut into rounds like these. And for vegetables, we're going to use 4 Roma tomatoes, 6 to 8 garlic cloves, 5 to 6 jalapenos or serrano peppers or a combination of both depending on your level of spice, 1 white onion, 2 bundles of green onion, 1 bundle of cilantro, and 3 pounds of fresh cactus. Before we head outside to prepare this recipe, we're going to start by cooking the nopales first. The quickest and easiest way to cut the nopales is by stacking a few at a time. Cut them into long strips like these and then into smaller pieces. As I cut them, I'm going to place them in a stock pot. To cook the nopales, I'm not going to add any water so we don't lose any of that delicious flavor. We're only going to add 2 teaspoons of salt and 3 husks from the tomatillos. The tomatillo husk is going to help to reduce a lot of the slime. I'm also going to squeeze in the juice from 1 lime, which is also going to help to reduce the slime. Cook the nopales over medium heat for about 15 to 20 minutes with frequent movement or until you no longer see any of the slime. While we wait for the nopales, we're going to chop the rest of the vegetables. Once you no longer see slime on the bottom of the pan, remove the corn husk, and we're going to set them aside until they're ready to use. And now the fun part begins of putting this recipe together. First, we're going to heat up the disc over low-medium heat. Since all burners are different, as you prepare the recipe, you can adjust the heat as needed. We're going to start with the bacon and the chorizo first so we can use the fat rendered from both of these ingredients to cook the rest of the meats and the vegetables. If you use longaniza instead of chorizo, longaniza has a lot less fat than the chorizo, so depending on how much fat renders from both of these ingredients, you can add more fat as needed. Using my wooden spoon, I'm going to break down the chorizo, and we're going to cook both of these ingredients for about 10 to 12 minutes, or until the bacon begins to crisp. Then we're going to scoop it up and we're going to place it on the side of the disc. Then we're going to continue with the chicken. You can cook the other meats in any order that you prefer. I usually start with the ones that take a little bit longer to cook. Cook the chicken for about 10 to 12 minutes, then scoop it onto the side along with the chorizo and the bacon. Since the side of the pan is also hot, the meat is going to continue to cook on the side because the side of the pan is also hot. Next, I'm going to add in the pork. This pork is pre-seasoned for tacos al pastor, which is going to add a lot more flavor to the dish. We cook the pork for about 10 minutes, the same as the chicken, and then we're going to scoop it to the side of the pan. I started with the chicken and the pork meat first because the beef was not marinated. Therefore, the flavor from both of these meats is going to release into the fat, and it's going to flavor the beef as it cooks. And next, we're going to move on to the beef. The beef we're going to cook for about 10 to 12 minutes. Once it's done, we're going to scoop it onto the side of the disc with the rest of the ingredients. The meats are chopped very small, so it doesn't take very long for them to cook. Once we have the meat scooped out, we're going to add the vegetables, the onion, the garlic, the tomatoes, the jalapenos, and the cilantro. Sauté these ingredients for about 5 to 7 minutes. Then add in the sliced hot dogs and the chopped ham. Mix in both of these ingredients with the vegetables, and then mix in the cooked cactus. The cactus is completely optional. You can add it or leave it out, but I like to add it to give this dish a nice balance. You can also use any other vegetables of your choice. Potatoes also go great with this recipe. Mix in the cactus and saute for an additional 5 to 7 minutes. Then we're going to mix in the rest of the meats with the vegetables, hot dogs, and the ham. And lastly, we're going to place the green onions over the meat. And then we're going to mix them in with the meat so they can soak up some of that delicious flavoring. And then I'm going to remove them and place them on the side of the dish so they can continue to cook while we warm up some corn or flour tortillas, which is how you serve this delicious recipe, in tacos. To prepare my taco, I'm going to use spinach tortillas, but you can also use any other type of tortilla of your choice, including flour tortillas. As I warm up the tortillas, I'm going to place it over the meat to soak up some of that delicious flavoring. And then I'm going to place them on the side of the disc until they're nice and warm and pliable. Since the burner is still on while the tortillas are warming up, make sure to stir the meat every once in a while so it doesn't burn. If you don't own one of these discs or would like to own a disc like this one, you can find these on Amazon. And I provided the link in the description of this video so you can also own one and prepare this delicious recipe at home. You can also prepare this recipe using a regular pan or a cast iron skillet. This recipe is perfect for tailgating because you can have everything prepped and ready to go, or for any other occasion when you need to feed a large crowd. Enjoy these delicious tacos with your favorite toppings: pico de gallo, cilantro, onion, guacamole, queso fresco, and your favorite salsa. This recipe can also be prepared as unique to your taste. You can add or take away any of the ingredients that I used. So have fun preparing this recipe. I hope you enjoyed this video or found it useful. And if you did, give us a thumbs up or leave a comment so we can continue to share more recipes like this one. Thank you for watching and join us in our next video where we will be sharing another delicious recipe.